Hey friends, and welcome back to That French Teacher Mom Life. I thought, sorry about my finger, that I would kind of explain what we're doing for project-based learning in my freshman English class, because to find resources on project-based learning is not easy, and to find relevant ones to your life in your class and your students is even harder, because I have taken the class on project-based learning through Learner's Edge. I have watched the videos and I went, okay, my students are not going to do a project on water conservation in our county. Not for English class, just not going to happen. So those types of videos weren't really relevant to my students. So here I am to provide you some relevant content to your English class. And this is a project that can be done, I think, in any level of high school English, and maybe even 8th grade if you've got some good kids. So without further ado, let me tell you what's going on. So right now it is the end of the day. I'm in the preliminary stages of gathering my resources to do this project-based learning unit with my students. And they are currently finishing up some Romeo and Juliet projects that I got from the Literary Maven. Highly recommend you check her out on Instagram and Teachers Pay Teachers. What I am planning right now is guest speakers. I am planning an assembly, and I'm gathering community members for my students to connect to. What is the project? This is my project-based learning binder for both French and English. And the project that I found is from the Buck Institute for Education. It's a free project-based learning unit that you can print off. Ta-da! There it is. And I'm at the, obviously, preparing for the project stage. Is probably backwards, but you get the idea. And right now, the goal is to find resilient community members that my students can talk to via email or letter and connect to a historical figure in history. What I am planning right now with my two other English teachers that I teach the freshman English class with is we're gonna have a freshman class assembly where we will bring in 3 guest speakers. I have already secured 2 guest speakers, and these guest speakers will speak on their personal stories of how they have overcome something or demonstrated resilience in their life. The name of the project is the Resilience Café. So I have secured 2 of my 3 guest speakers. I have 2 men coming and then a woman coming. I have 2 different women possibilities, and so my goal is to have 3 guest speakers. They will speak for 10 minutes each with an intro and a close. And that will be the opening hook to the project. That'll get the students interested and excited to do it. And from there, we'll go into our driving question. How did I come up with this idea? How did I get these guest speakers? I am not from the county that I teach in. I connected with our school resource officers because I know that they are going to have the connections. They're both, I believe, from this county. They've been in the school for a long time. They've been in the county for a long time. So I knew if I talked to them, they would have good suggestions. And I was right. They were able to point me in the direction of our county EMA director, local lawyers, other things. And then also, I just Googled our county website, pulled emails off of our county website of commissioners, the veterans office, literally whoever had an email on there got an email from me saying, hey, this is who I am. This is what my students are doing, and this is the part I need you to help with. Would you be willing to participate? So I just drafted a nice email, copy pasted it to all these individuals. I've already gotten some responses, which is really, really exciting. And then, so that was today. Tomorrow, my plan is to call all the people who don't have emails that I found on the county website and leave them messages or talk to them and say, hey, this is a project. Would you be able and willing to hang out? So that is what I am doing. I have a lot of irons in the fire because I'm also planning a French 3 trip to Pittsburgh. We are going to go to a restaurant, an authentic French restaurant, and have an authentic French meal. So I have that going on, this project-based learning unit, which is a whole assembly I have to take care of. And then on top of that, my principal just emailed me and he's like, oh, by the way, you need to have another goal for your professional growth plan. So now I got to figure that out. And then for our teams, our teacher-based teams, we are to do a pre and post assessment. Thankfully, I already know what I want to do for my pre and post assessment. I'm going to do parallel structure because I already had that as my mini unit in between Romeo and Juliet and the project-based learning. So I already have that in my mind, but I don't have my content yet. So I need to prepare my pre-assessment for parallel structure. And then on top of all of that, I have all just the regular school stuff going on. Lesson plans, grades, students in quarantine, students out of quarantine, students going on field trips, students coming back from field trips, and just keeping track of all of that normal stuff. I have a lot of irons in the fire right now. Granted, I brought some of this upon myself, but like, I think you get it. Like, you want to be the best teacher you can be, and you want your kids to be engaged. And like, honestly, in this like post-pandemic age, it's so much harder to engage students. And I feel like I'm just like standing on my head trying to get them to even pay attention to anything I say. So I'm really hoping that the goal is for them to get something out of this project, is to look back on it and have memories from it and to learn something from it. Because I don't know, honestly, if these kids have learned anything all year, not just from me, but from any class, because I just don't think students are engaged anymore. So the goal is to engage, and for them to get something out of it. So we'll see. But that's the plan. That's what I'm doing. So tomorrow's my phone calls. And then hopefully one of the two women will get back to me and I can nail down my third guest speaker, nail down the date, and that's done. I'll book our auditorium and we'll have a freshman assembly. And then we'll move into, so after they have that, we'll move into the driving question, and the students will work towards a end product and an authentic audience, which our authentic audience is going to be the community members who we are in correspondence with. And for that part, I'm asking these community members if they are willing to, like I said, write with my students and share their story of resilience. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here because I want to go home and see my babies. But yeah, I want to give you an update on that and give you an idea of what PBL looks like in the initial planning stages. Also, if you have not already subscribed to my channel and shared it with a friend, please do so and hit that thumbs up if nothing else, because that always gives me a little help. Thank you guys so much.